Good afternoon, good morning to us, good afternoon to you back home and on the East Coast. We're here in sunny Southern California. Monarch Beach, Dana Point, California. It's about an hour south of LA. It's actually halfway between San Diego and LA. We've been here for a week now. Got a few more days here. We're enjoying our workcation. Yeah, it's nice. We were at another property before, Waldorf. The hands down best property I've ever stayed in. Just a beautiful, and I've stayed in some nice places, but that is by far the best property. Beautiful golf course right on the ocean. Had a chance to get out and play a little golf. Service was par excellent, obviously. Just an amazing property. All right, so this week on the DNA show, I'm minus the A. My beautiful bride's not feeling well. We went well watching the other day, and I think the wind kind of gave her a little sniffle, cough, so she's just relaxing today. She didn't feel like coming on. All right, so I'm here to talk about a couple things on the professional ranks, NBA, NFL, and MLB, Major League Baseball. Wow. So we're going to start it off with the Cowboys and Niners. Kicks off tomorrow night here in Northern California, actually. It's really a must-win for both teams. You know, there's a lot at stake. A whole lot at stake. But to me, I think Dallas has more at stake than the 49ers. And the reason why I say that is I think the 49ers, if they can get healthy, I'm not sure how long the people that are out are going to be out, but that division is not as scary as the NFC East to me, because you got Seattle and the Rams, who look really good the other night. I think they're getting more pieces back. Then you got a struggling Cardinals, who, you know, I'm not sure what their story is. I know Kyler Murray had been out, came back last season a couple games, but they're not putting it together right now. So the 49ers still, in my opinion, if they lose tomorrow, they still, it's not over, because it's still early. So much more football to be played, and you never know how things are going to shake out. But for me, the Cowboys, it's a must win, right? Even though there's a lot of season left, I think it's just a harder road for them than the Niners. That's just my opinion. Because, you know, I mean, who would have thought that the Commanders would be in first place in the NFC East, right? So they're looking great. Their quarterback is kind of looking like C.J. Stroud did last year. He's playing amazing ball. The Eagles are still the Eagles, even though they haven't played well, but they're still able to win some games and have a winning record. And the Giants are what they are. But I think Dallas, hopefully they get some pieces back healthy after the bye week, and they're able to be creative in their offense. I think they need to mix in tempo and get as much as they can get out of the running game. But they have to do two things, in my opinion, to win tomorrow. And this is an opportunity for them to beat the 49ers, right? They just haven't been able to do it. You better get them while they're down, basically. But they need to figure out a way to pull out a win on the road tomorrow. But the way they're going to be able to do it, as I just mentioned, mixing up tempo, getting some out of the running game, but they got to take care of the ball. I mean, Dak cannot have, you know, those interceptions, which, you know, he can have from time to time. But they have to come up with some takeaways. They have to create some turnovers, right? And to create some short fields, you know, for their kicking game, and getting the ball in the end zone, get in the red zone. So those are my keys to the game tomorrow. Again, to me, it's just a must win for the Cowboys in order to, you know, be relevant as we move toward the postseason. So we got some key matchups tomorrow. We're getting into that part of the season when we're finally figuring out who teams are. And then it never fails, somebody gets it together around this time and they can go on a run in the latter part of the season, right? So Atlanta, Tampa Bay. I know Tampa Bay suffered major injuries last week. We'll see if they can bounce back and if that defense can help them and some of the new guys on the offense can step up and make some plays. Baker Mayfield is doing much better than a lot of people expected. Excuse me. Another key matchup tomorrow, Chicago and Washington. Two rookie quarterbacks are going to duel it out. And again, we're talking about, playoff positioning for both of these teams. Philly at Cincinnati, that is going to be a key game. Philly needs to win to stay in the hunt for the NFC East, and Cincy needs to win to kind of break even to get back to even to 500. And then Pittsburgh at the Giants. I think it's going to be key for Russell Wilson to add on to what he did the other night. And if you get that defense with a quarterback that doesn't make mistakes and can make plays, Russ made some good plays, especially outside the pocket. I think Pittsburgh is going to be in the conversation at the end if they continue to play like that. Okay, so those are my takeaways from this week in the NFL. Now, in the NBA, my goodness. The NBA has already started. Isn't that amazing to think about? Wow. But 3 teams stood out to me when I just kind of watched the highlights the other night. One thing about the NBA is I just can't watch the games anymore, especially this early in the season. The season is just so long. I just can't do it anymore. But just looking at the box scores and seeing some of the highlights. Dallas, Klay Thompson. He's just splashing in Dallas, right? Man, Dallas looked good. They just seem like to me they picked up right where they left off. The Thunder did the same. I think they're going to be... I didn't pick them to do much last year just because they were so young. But they look tough. They look really well. And I know it's early. But then Boston, of course, all 3 of those teams, to me, just kind of picked up right where they left off. And my team, the Grizzlies, they're a little banged up right now. They've got about 6 people out. A couple major pieces that are out. They didn't win last night, which I thought they were going to struggle at Houston. That's always a tough game for them, especially with Dylan Brooks now. They kind of get up for that game. But it's always been tough for them to play down in Houston. They're a little banged up, but Ja is healthy. Bane is back healthy. Aldama, he's just kind of up and down. He's always been like that. He had 27 points the first game, and last night I think he had 3 or 4. If you're going to be a major role, you're going to have to step up in big games. That game the other night was at home. This was on the road, so they may have had something to do with it. I didn't see the game, but I look at the box scores and highlights mostly. But G-Jack, he's going to be out for about 3 months. That's really the main injury they have. Jared Jackson Jr. should be back in a week or so. And the other people that are out, they should be back within a week or 2. So not a lot of, I don't think there's any season-ending injuries. But G.G. Jackson, he played amazing last year as a rookie. I think he's going to be a real instrumental part if Memphis is going to try to make a push and make a deep run in the playoffs. So he had a foot surgery, so he's going to be out for about 3 months. All right, and then we're going to wrap it up here with the L.A. Dodgers, the Yankees. at Dodger Stadium. My goodness, that was a classic, wasn't it? That reminded me of when I was a kid. My dad and I, we would watch Dusty Baker when he played for the Dodgers back in the day, and the Yankees. I mean, that's like Cowboys Steelers, right? That's like Lakers Celtics, that's like Alabama Auburn, right? Michigan Ohio State. That's like a key marquee matchup. I know the ratings were out of the roof, but for that guy, for them to go an extra, it was a really. I watched some of the game. I did fall asleep during a little bit of it, but I woke back up. Just times got me thrown off. But for that guy to have a walk-off homer, I mean, he blasted that ball. But really and truly, the fans, one of the fans really messed up that game. Because if he hadn't leaned over and caught that ball, I think the Yankees would have won. Yeah, because I think they would have scored at least one run off of that. So it is what it is. All right, that's my take, guys, on the DNA show where we talk Bible, business, ball, y'all. I'll be back with my bride next week. She'll be back. She's behind the camera, y'all, smiling at me. See you guys soon.